guys, welcome to a new series I'm doing on the undiagnosed autistic, or you might be self-diagnosed. And I understand why. And Australia particularly, let me know what's the barrier in your country, but in Australia I will during this video explain why you have been lied to about being autistic and they're saying you're not in current era. So I was diagnosed before it was discussed, I guess, in a shared way online. So I was diagnosed in a very isolated way, I guess you could say. And I was still under the shame umbrella because in those days it wasn't safe to just say, yeah, I'm actually autistic. It wasn't actually safe. That's my generation. So I am going to discuss it in generations too, because I do think that the younger ones and the older ones than me and me, we all have a different experience because of our eras, right? Not just Taylor Swift has eras, we all have eras that we grow up in. We don't choose that. So basically, if you are undiagnosed, you might be aware or unaware. This video is for you regardless. So please, even if you don't think you're autistic, you don't know yet, listen to me first and then make up your mind. But first I will start with the truth of why they won't diagnose you. And it's something that I very much have avoided because I do get very upset for others about it, because I can't imagine. It was life-changing for me getting my diagnosis. It was depressing. Yes, I had shame, mainly in looking back, because when I looked back, I realized I've suffered unnecessarily. I've been abused for it. I've been punished for it. So if you have to, I get it. I get it. So I got very passionate about it because I noticed that when the awareness became real, that women as well, so this is, I guess it is aimed at women, but it is for you autistic guys as well. Or if you were an undiagnosed autistic male out there, you could be. So listen, because you might hear something that resonates with you, right? So basically, I looked it up and everything just improved my life. And so I guess the shame went away. It's not that I didn't struggle anymore. It's just that I had like an antidote. It was like, oh, I'm struggling. Right, I need to go and get my sensory fidgets and use that. Or I need to go watch my favorite TV show and then I'm going to be okay. Or I just need to be away from people for a couple of days because I'm overloaded and I need to decompress because I'm going to end up just going into a meltdown or you know, being irritable to my friends, which is not the person I want to give my friends, is an irritable person, right? So I would take that deep time to myself of just like deep into, you go into yourself, right? Any autistic out there knows what I'm talking about. So if you have been told these are the things, shy, she's so shy, or he's so shy, if you've been told that, you know, you are immature, you need to speak more mature, you're speaking very immature, you should know how to say this, this, and this by now in your past. If you have been told that basically you're doing everything wrong, if you always have felt like, oh my gosh, I get things done, what's wrong with everyone? I keep being told that's not how you do it. And you think to yourself, why is there one way to do it? Does it matter? If you've experienced that, do you need alone time to get rid of irritability, anger outbursts, which could be a meltdown? Are you sensitive, like when you walk into a shop and the music's very loud, do you start to get like this intense, and you just, by the end of it, you're like, oh, and you get to your quiet car and you go, that's what was wrong. That music was loud today. And I say that sometimes with my ear defenders on. It's bad in Australia. Anyway, let me know what country you're in and if it's bad in your shops. It's bad here. It's like a disco. I don't like it, even with my ear defenders. So anyway, I last longer in the shops using ear defenders. Do you have sensitivities to certain sounds, tastes, smells, like clothing items, anything like that, where people have pointed it out and gone, you're so sensitive to what you're wearing in clothes and how it feels, it's stupid. Or you're so sensitive to that little sound, just ignore it. Oh my goodness, you're so pathetic. Like, I can handle it. Have you been accused of that? That's a very common one, I'm telling you right now. Have you been told, like, why do you just eat this, this, and this? Like, I've made this nice meal or I've bought this nice meal and it's nice. And you're just thinking, I just want what I normally eat. Do you have, like, it's not that you're fussy. It's not that you maybe don't eat all of the food groups. It's just that you like familiar. You like the same foods. And then you switch a little bit, but you choose it when you want to do it. Are you funny like that? And you find change hard. Even just going on a positive thing like a holiday. And you're like, oh, it's different. It's different. I've got to set things up now in this place to be, okay, that's going to be my sensory sanctuary over there. I think that's the right word. I don't know. That has to be, and I have to watch this movie to settle in. And then I know I'm not going to sleep the first night because it's a strange place, strange noises. It's like, oh, I can hear every noise. It's like it's loud. And everyone else is just like, this is nice. And you're just like, how are you not hearing that weird noise over there? Like, isn't that bugging you? Because we don't have that at home. And say no one else is having that same experience. Hey, Willow. My cat. You know, that kind of thing. Do you get cold sensitive, introverted, any of those things? Do you get called antisocial when you know that there is some antisocial people out there, but you know that you love socializing, but then you love to be alone as well? Bit of both, and mainly the alone bit, mainly. And as you get older, so let's look at us old ones, people even older than me or my age, do you notice that you kind of like, I don't really need anyone. I don't need friends. I don't need to go out anymore. Like, I'm satisfied with just your one person and your own interests. Do you have an interest that people have gone, wow, you're really into that? You're really into it. Wow. You know a lot about it. Do you have so many varied interests that you just dive into? Or one. It could be one. And you just dive into it. And people have noticed and said, you're really good at that. And you're like, yes, I know. And you're thinking it's a bit weird that they are honouring basically your knowledge, because that's how much, you know, you've gone into rabbit holes. You're aware of it. You look at the things that you're into. Have you been just, yep, I've stayed up late to do that because that's how much I'm into it. Because that could be a special interest that you're showing there. Do you find that, you know, people do challenge you with, you know, they send you texts or they ring you and you can't keep up with friendships. It's like, oh my gosh, they're draining me. They're exhausting. I just saw her the other day for coffee. It's 2 days after. I don't need another text. Like, and it's not that you don't like them at all. It's just, and the text comes in, and even though it's no demand on you, it's just like, feels like there is. And you're just like, can't handle this. That is autism. Do you have a strong inner world, a very strong inner world that you've known since a child, and you go there, you like it there? No one else likes you going there, but you like it there. Do you struggle in relationships, even just with your actual partner? You know, like they wanna just hold your hand, and you're like, it's annoying, stop. That's not your love language, you know, because you're like, oh, it's just a sensory nightmare. Do you have anything like that? And it's nothing to do with it's not true antisocial because you like people. In fact, your empathy's too big. Sometimes you can't leave the house because you're thinking, I feel sorry for everybody else, not just yourself with things. You actually feel everybody else's energy, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much suffering. Oh, I can't deal. I'm going to get upset about it. Are you a real social justice person, and you're like, I just want justice. I want justice for everyone. Oh, I just heard her story, his story. I'm mad. Like, do you get really angry about it? And people are like, it's just the way it is. And you're like, no, that's just not acceptable with me. Do you have a really strong sense of that? And then rules. Do you find rules like something you love? Oh, there's rules. Oh, great. And everyone else is going, oh, why is there rules? It's a camp for adults doing this particular, activity or whatever. Why does it have to be rules? This is stupid. But yet you're going, great. What's the rules? Right. Now I understand how to navigate this a little bit. At least I can reduce the number of times I'm going to get into trouble being an ADHDer and not knowing when to talk or when not to talk, because ADHD is 80% of autistics ADHD. So you've either got ADD, meaning you have attention problems, you can't focus, but you're very quiet about it. And then there's us hyper ones. We are so annoying because of the hyper bit. It just makes it worse. But however, I want to clarify, if you've got ADD, you're suffering as much as the ADHDer, but the ADHDer gets more social penalised than the ADD person, which is good. It's good that you don't get hyper focused on and harassed, okay? But the ADHDers, we do stand out. We get told off for interrupting, and then every time we literally go, I don't want to put myself out there to the people because I'm always failing and I don't want to be that person. I hate myself because I interrupt. And you know that, I know I'm 51. I've tried my best, I still can't not interrupt. It is not a choice. It is a communication problem. It is a brain problem. It is a disorder and it is a disability. Autism is a disability. So this is the beginning. I'm going to have an episode every week of the Undiagnosed Autistic. I just want you to know, if you are undiagnosed, self-diagnosed, you're welcome here. And I'll tell you why. The government is lying because Social Security. They'll call you mental if they get the opportunity, which it's easy to do. Funny how there's no science on that one. They can just say it. It's like, where's the science? You say you want all this from me. You want science. You didn't test me. I mean, I was heavily tested. That's why I like the fact that, and I'm so sorry that you guys don't get diagnosed like the era that I was. I really sincerely empathize with that pain because my testing was so thorough. And even at the end, I was like, how do you know I'm autistic? I wasn't believing it, right? He's like, I knew in the first 5 minutes. And then he rattled off all these behaviors. I was like, oh, yeah, I do that. He was right. And and I went into denial, and then it became popular on social media, and I'd look at it and I'd go, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah. I still had a lot of shame because of my X generation factor. And if you're older than me, you're going to have a lot of shame. Think of your childhood. Do you have a lot of shame? As in, you've always tried to do things right, but you always got told off. You always got punished, and it caused you shame. Because every time you opened your mouth, it was wrong. Wrong answer, wrong response, you're an idiot, sit down and shut up. That was our generation. And I want the younger ones to honour that because, like I just said, we honour the fact that you guys aren't getting diagnosed too. I tell you what, us older ones were told, you're stupid, you're not going to amount to anything, you're an absolute idiot. That was legally allowed to be said by school teachers to our face. For being autistic. It was pure abuse. And none of it was ever a choice. I had a teacher yell at me, why don't you speak? And I'm just looking at the dude. Flat affect. And that pissed him off. But I was a victim of that situation. I was an undiagnosed child autistic because I'm female, and they knew something was wrong. Special ed is pretty obvious, but they had no patience. And if you're older than me or my age, you would have experienced that too. If you're autistic, most likely for something you did that was autistic. So it might have been your special interest got in the way of your education. It might have been that you questioned the status quo. Like you would say, this is what I did in high school. I asked questions above and beyond the curriculum. And she couldn't answer, and I got angry, and I walked out. She should not be a geography teacher because she doesn't know what she's doing. Have you done that? Have you been a bossy boots? We sometimes do that. I don't know if that's the ADHD or autism, but you know what? If you've got ADHD, there tends to be a bit of autism with it. I do believe it's a two-way thing. I do believe that. I don't believe it's an isolation thing. I think that ADHD, ADD is a side effect of autism, basically. But the reason they don't diagnose is disability pensions. That's the sick fact of that, because autism's permanent. But if they call you mental, it's not permanent. It's sick. It's about money again. It's a bit like my healthcare. I don't get healthcare because I want to save money. They don't want to save rare syndrome people when you're an adult. So if you're a family with a child out there, you need to be scared of the future, because they turn like that on you. And it's not a good world when they don't actually want you to exist, because you're a burden on the taxation system. And so if you are an undiagnosed autistic, you have struggled. They've probably given you misdiagnoses of probably something mental, and you're doing the therapies for it and it's not working. Yeah, it's never worked, and you're either trying now and going, this is going to work because I really need it to work, because you need that support for what's going on, right? Or in your past you've gone and got help for it and you're like, that didn't help. And then when you find out what's wrong, which happened to me, and you realize it's autism, what I want you to do as an undiagnosed autistic is use Google. I'm struggling with this, Google it, autism. Connect it to autism and look it up and find out every antidote for every struggle you have, because on the spectrum you're all different and you're all going to have a different area of struggle. The best thing you can do is delve into the side of Google and follow other autistics and just see if you can see in their videos. Look at my videos if you wish. If there's something that you go, I relate to that, that's a good sign, because really doctors don't know everything. We do, the ones with it. It's like 22q. I know more about it than my doctors because I have it, because I'm invested, because my life depends on it. Simple as that. You're the same. You know your struggle. They're not living with you. They don't know your struggle, and they certainly don't know what's going on in here, and you probably can't explain it because you're autistic. Communication problems. You probably don't even realize that you're having communication problems. You're probably thinking, but I speak. Yeah, you do. But it doesn't mean it's effective communication. That's nothing to be ashamed of now. If you're autistic, it's the problem we have. It's not just a childhood thing. It's also a lifelong thing. So if you're struggling with communication and everyone tells you that, don't feel bad. Look up autism. See if you can get some things that click with you on the autism level. Because if you're looking at the wrong diagnosis of something else, you're never going to find the antidote, I call it, to solving your problems or functioning. Never. You're always going to be left wondering, why is nothing work? I'm such a loser. Nothing works. It's me. Probably the wrong diagnosis. And I'm not a qualified person to diagnose, but I think we're a bit beyond that in society, aren't we? I think we realize the science is at our fingertips and they don't like it, but the fact is, it is. You don't need a piece of paper. I wish you would get one though, because you deserve it, because you deserve the supports for whatever you have and the level you have it, and you deserve those supports, and it makes me damn angry. But just remember my story. I'm fighting, and I've got a physical condition that's freaking serious. Death is any day, and they are still, I'm still waiting on my change of circumstance. So this is a problem with anyone with any disability. Don't feel bad that it's just you. You do deserve the papers, but you don't need them to have the antidotes. The antidotes are everywhere online, whether it's following autistic people that you feel a similar type of autism with, and you see them using strategies that you think, oh wow, that's amazing, that I'm going to try that. Just reading about autism in general, Tony Attwood, very good resource. He delivers it beautifully. It describes it beautifully. And I don't know how to stop that. So that kind of thing. Tony Atwood, double T, look him up. He's got videos on YouTube, but also his books. His book was specifically I'd start with, but then all the other books, and whether you're male or female, you'll probably choose different ones. He does have, I think, on his website, a list of recommended reading. It's creepy. When you listen to his book, it's like, oh my goodness, he's been stalking me, but he hasn't. But it's like, how does he know this? He will, because guys, don't think that, oh, but I'm so unsure, and I have thought about whether I'm autistic, but you know, everyone says they're autistic now. Read the books. And if you hear yourself, you need to accept that and stop listening to the naysayers who, it's not about the piece of paper. It's not about going, I'm autistic. It's not about that for any of us. They try and make out that's what we're wanting. No, we're not. We want to live a quality of life and know how to fix our struggle. And these books will help you fix your struggle. And if one thing I can do to pay it forward, because I was blessed with being diagnosed and properly by an autism specialist who had his PhD and he was specializing in it, I was lucky because it wasn't popular then. And when they found out, oh, all the females realize that it's pretty much 50-50 with this autism thing, shit, squash it down. Oh, no, it's not happening. No, nothing to see. Nothing to see. No, there's nothing behind my back. No. You're all fine. Ladies, you're mental. Mental. It's just, you don't need someone else to validate you. We should get it, and in most situations, you should get it. But we are talking about a system that is just political, but people are dying. Physical conditions, doesn't matter what condition they have. People are dying because of the fact that we're not spending money on medical. There's no money in medical, in public. It's bad. And they don't care anymore because of overpopulation. It's sick. But when it comes to autism, luckily you don't die from it. However, I would look into your actual health, like my psychiatrist told me, because a lot of autistics, particularly getting older, not so much when you're young, you might have fatigue, but you might have EDS. If you are autistic in a way that, you know, you're either self-diagnosed or you're wondering if you are, if you've got EDS, it's kind of connected. And then OCD, that's connected big time, ADHD, ADD. And a lot of physical things like POTS. POTS is a big one with autistics. And dysautonomia. It's a big one. So there's a lot of physical problems and a lot of autistics. I know that people picked on Chloe Hayden's stats, but guys, it is true. Autistics are more likely to have sudden death than the average population. It really is like that. And the studies are so new that I can't give you a stat. I can't give you a big fact on that, but there is research on that pointing that direction. There just hasn't been more research, which is actually more concerning that it's going on more than what we think, not less than what we think. So I think that one would be open-minded. Look at your physical health. Take care of your physical health. If you're young or even if you're older, everyone can develop it at any age, certain problems, or you might have it as a problem, but you don't realize until maybe the symptoms get worse and then you go, oh, something's wrong. So yeah, my advice is to read books on autism from the specialists themselves. Tony Atwood's one of them, and he directs you to many other specialists of autism. So good place to start. And then second to that, keep an eye on your physical health. So I hope that helped, and I hope that please put some questions below for the next video. Otherwise, I won't know where to go to help you even further. But I just want to say that I validate you and I understand your situation. And sadly, it's not a reality that you should be facing. This is a societal problem about healthcare and the lack of money for healthcare, which includes a psychosocial situation like autism. It does. And there's a lot of reasons why the government doesn't want to approve a lot of things is because anything that leads to a permanent disability, they don't want to deal with. And that shouldn't get in the way of your diagnosis. That's really messed up. If they did that to people who are physically ill, which had major things, it's called medical neglect. I was failed to be diagnosed. It took 48 years to pick up a syndrome I was born with. Presenting at hospitals and doctors more than the norm. To the point where they knew that. Because they'd say, why are you always here? Because I'm always sick. And I proved them wrong. They're still arguing with me. So if you think of that, you're not alone with trying to get the government to understand autism being your disability. And I apologize for that. Not because it's my fault, but because I am someone who's been diagnosed who can speak on the truth about autism, because they are only the medical model. I'm the social model of disability for autism because I am autistic. I can represent it, and I'm happy to. Because people who are undiagnosed suffer more because they're not getting the help that they need in the right way. That's what I'm passionate about. So anyway, look up those references and please take care of your physical health, regardless of whether you're thinking of yourself as just autistic. So take care, and I'll see you next time in the next video. And please put your questions and comments below for the next video so I know what you need to hear, because I'm in a different phase of it all, but I want to be there for the people that haven't been diagnosed, because I really feel that it must be a scary place to be. And I understand it because of my 22q not really being understood because there is no specialist for me. So I get it. Take care. Bye.